This is an iconic picture of the Canadian Pacific Railway director Donald Smith hitting the last spike. It united the east and west parts of Canada and in many ways created the nation we know today. The funny thing is, this is actually the second spike. He totally biffed the first one, and so they had to retake the picture because he messed it up so badly the first time. Old white guys, am I right? Nothing is real, the world is a lie. Welcome to more Canadian history. Today we're going to be talking about the last spike. So Pierre, would you like to get started? Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. Beavers are impervious to puns. I became fascinated by the railway and its history in Canada back in junior high. I was shown this mini-series by my teacher called The National Dream. It was hosted by Pierre Burton, no relation to you, and he was a Canadian historian that went into great depths about why the railway was so important. If you can somehow track this down, I would highly recommend it. Yes, it was made in the 70s, so the production value isn't as high as you'd be able to see today, but it's a great exploration about how crazy it was to think that we could actually tie together this sparsely populated nation. And it showcases some of the wonderfully weird characters in our history. So the person who spearheaded this crazy railroad idea in the first place was our very first Prime Minister, Sir John A. Macdonald. He's the guy that's on the $10 bill. He understood just how fragile our unity actually was, and whether it was showboating or not, he really didn't want the United States to lay claim to all of North America. There seems to be a bit of a disagreement between historians about how big of a threat it actually was, but Macdonald really wanted that railway to reach British Columbia before the Americans got a railway there to protect British Columbia within the Canadian Union. And spoiler alert, that's exactly what happened and why Alaska is so cut off from the rest of the continental United States. The railway now seems pretty quaint and old technology, but at the time, it was quite advanced. This would be decades before the national highway system or even cars existed. Macdonald's dedication to this form of transportation nearly bankrupted the country and, literally, almost came to blows in Parliament. And happening simultaneously with this political intrigue in the East, in the West there was people discovering ways to blast through the Rocky Mountains, and you got to meet all these fascinating figures in Canadian history. Like William Cornelius Van Horn, the CPR general manager who proclaimed himself to be the boss of everybody and everything. He was essentially the Lex Luthor of that era, except, you know, not super evil. He was an American, but renounced his American citizenship after the construction of the railway was done. And there was also Andrew Onderdonk, just a fun name to say, who was tasked with finding a way to blast through those harsh granite walls of the Rocky Mountains. Thousands of Chinese workers came to help with this work and to place dangerous dynamite charges. It's estimated that there is 3 Chinese lives lost for every kilometer of track lane. And this doesn't even scratch the surface of the other surveyors and settlers of the West while this was going on. By the time that this picture was taken, John A. Macdonald had both lost and then come back to become Prime Minister again. Thousands of lives had been lost, but a country was starting to take shape. Cool stuff, huh, Pierre? What do you mean you've been sleeping? My name is Kyle, this is Pierre. Thanks again for watching a short video about Canadian history. I also upload videos every Monday and Thursday. You can also like and subscribe down below for more. I'll see you again next Saturday.